The world outside was loud, but inside, the Zoo family was learning how to breathe again. A flutter of lashes, a whisper of a name. And just like that, hope returned. But with every heartbeat regained, the storm beyond the hospital walls grew darker. Secrets whispered in boardrooms, old betrayals clawed to the surface, and hands once trusted began to tremble with guilt. Zoo Meelam thought she was only fighting for survival. But now, she's fighting for the truth. For my family. And for a love that began in the shadows, and refuses to let go. This is Beneath the Mask. Chapters 75 to 78. Only on the Velvet Story. Do like, comments, share, subscribe. Chapter 75, When Eyes Finally Open. The world outside was loud, Zoo Group was back in the headlines, Lin Jianhong's empire was unraveling, and whispers of the new heiress echoed through business halls across the city. But inside the hospital room, there was only stillness. The rhythmic beep of the heart monitor. The soft whir of a ventilator. The quiet of waiting. Zoo Meelam sat in the chair beside her mother, her fingers interlaced with the hand that had once braided her hair, wiped her tears, and steadied her knees when she first stood on her own. Everything's changing, Meelam whispered. But I feel like I'm still frozen in time. Here, her voice cracked. I miss you, Mom. I miss your scolding, your knowing smile, the way you always said I talked too fast when I was hiding something. She laughed softly through a sniffle. You'd like Yiran, I think. He doesn't try to fix everything, but somehow, he makes it easier to bear. As if hearing her name spoken with such reverence, Mrs. Zhu stirred. Meelam stilled. The monitor's rhythm changed, just slightly. And then, a flutter. Eyes. Her mother's eyelids twitched, lashes trembled, and slowly, very slowly, they opened. Ma? Meelam's voice was barely a breath. Mrs. Zhu blinked again, unfocused but aware. Her lips parted, dry and weak. Her gaze landed on Meelam, and something sparked in her eyes. A mother's recognition. Lin. The name was hoarse, fragile, but it struck Meelam like lightning to her chest. She dropped to her knees beside the bed, tears pouring down her cheeks as she gripped her mother's hand tighter. You're awake, she sobbed. You're really awake. Doctors and nurses rushed in seconds later, startled by the call button Yiran had pressed the moment her voice rose. But Meelam couldn't move. She just held on, as if afraid this moment might shatter if she blinked. Across the hallway, a soft sound echoed in Zhu Hao's room as well. A hand. It moved. Just once, barely a twitch, but the nurse noticed. She gasped, checking vitals and calling for help. The Zhu family, shattered by metal and malice, had started to stir again. Later that evening, Meelam stood on the hospital rooftop with Yiran, the wind brushing through her hair like a blessing. She said my name. Meelam whispered. I waited so long for that. She's strong. Like you, Yiran said. Meelam turned toward him. You keep saying I'm strong. But I've felt so weak. That's what makes it real, he replied. You didn't have to feel unbreakable to choose not to break. Her heart swelled. She reached for his hand, fingers brushing together like leaves in wind. I keep thinking about that night, she said suddenly. The one we never talk about. Yiran's expression didn't change. He only listened. I didn't remember it clearly for a long time, she continued. But I've pieced together fragments, how I felt safe, warm, even in that chaos. I didn't know it was you. But maybe part of me did. He gently tucked a strand of her hair behind her ear. I wish I could undo the way it happened, he murmured. I don't, she said, meeting his eyes. I wish it had happened in a room filled with light, not shadows. But, I don't regret it. You were my beginning, even if I didn't know it then. The air between them quieted. I want to build something with you, Yiran, she said softly. Not out of revenge, not out of obligation, but something real, something ours. Yiran's throat tightened, but his eyes never left hers. Then let's begin. From here, together. She leaned into his chest, listening to his heartbeat. Solid, certain. It no longer felt like standing on broken glass. It felt like home. End of chapter 75. Chapter 76, The Weight of a Blink. The hospital was quieter than usual. The evening sun melted into a golden haze through the blinds of Zhu Hao's room. Time, once stagnant here, now ticked forward again, softly, expectantly. Milam stood beside her brother's bed, gently wiping his hand with a warm cloth. She had done this 100 times before. But today, something felt different. His fingers weren't as cold. His jaw wasn't as slack. And when she leaned in to murmur his name, just like she always did, his eyelids fluttered. "How?" she whispered, frozen in place. He twitched again. This time, clearly. Then slowly, painstakingly, his eyelids opened. It wasn't dramatic. It wasn't loud. But to Milam, it was thunder in her chest. She dropped the cloth, her hands trembling as she reached for him. "Ge?" Her voice cracked, soaked with emotion. Zhu Hao blinked. Once. Then again. His gaze was clouded at first. But it found her. It saw her. "Milam?" The word was like a miracle. Faint and scratchy, but real. Tears broke loose down her cheeks. She clutched his hand, nodding furiously, unable to speak. A sob tore from her lips, but she laughed through it. "You're awake," she gasped. "You really? Oh God, you're here." Footsteps pounded behind her. Yiran had been just outside, pacing nervously. When he burst into the room and saw Milam kneeling by the bed, sobbing into her brother's hand, he understood immediately. Zhu Hao's eyes shifted to him. "Who?" Milam turned and reached for Yiran's hand. "He's the one who's been with me through all of it." Yiran bowed his head slightly. "Zhu Hao, I'm Keen Yiran, your sister's protector?" Hao croaked. Yiran smiled faintly. "That, and more, I hope." Zhu Hao blinked. His voice was weak but firm. "Good. She deserves someone who doesn't run." Word of Zhu Hao's awakening spread quickly through the hospital. Doctors flooded in, then administrators. The Zhu siblings' reunion was kept quiet from the press, just for now, but something shifted in the city that night. Hope had returned. In the days that followed, Milam stayed at the hospital with her mother and brother. The once hushed rooms now hummed with recovery. Yiran came every day, often in silence, bringing her snacks, papers from her lawyer, and updates from Zhu Group's legal counsel. He never asked for anything. But he always stayed. And Milam started noticing more. How he gently adjusted her mother's blanket. How he sat beside Hao, listening to updates as if Zhu Hao were already his own blood. One afternoon, Zhu Hao chuckled weakly. "You know, I once thought you'd end up with someone useless in a tux." Milam blinked. "What?" He gestured toward Yiran. "But this one, he looks at you like he knows you're made of fire. Not glass." Her breath caught. That evening, Milam found herself on a bench just outside the hospital garden, watching the stars blink into life. Yiran sat beside her, quiet for a long time. Then, "I saw your father once." Milam turned to him, startled. "What?" "In the emergency room. After the crash. I didn't know who he was then. But, he was whispering your name. Over and over." Her eyes stung again. "He protected me. Even then. He knew what I was walking into. I think he trusted you'd survive it. But also hoped someone would stand beside you." She looked at Yiran. The soft shadows under his eyes, the quiet ache in his voice, the way his fingers always curled near hers but never crossed the line unless she moved first. "You are not what I expected," she said softly. He tilted his head. "Disappointed?" "No, you're more. And I don't know what I would have done if you hadn't been there." He exhaled slowly. "I fell first, Milam. That night, even in the dark, I didn't know who you were. But I remember the way you looked at me. Like you weren't afraid. Like I mattered." Her hand reached for his, slowly this time. No trembling. Just truth. "You do matter," she whispered. He gently laced their fingers together. And for the first time in years, Milam didn't feel like she was falling. She felt like she was finally, slowly, being caught. End of chapter 76. Chapter 77, cracks beneath the mask. The soft glow of the hospital corridor felt suffocating to Evelyn. She leaned against the wall, eyes vacant, watching as nurses passed by with clipboards and quiet smiles. None of them looked at her twice. To them, she was just another visitor. She hated that. Once, she walked through halls like these with a tailored blazer, flawless makeup, and a purpose sharp as glass. Now, she moved like a shadow. Her phone buzzed. A single message from an anonymous number. The board's vote is coming. Choose your side, Evelyn. She stared at it for a long moment, then turned off the screen. Choose? No one ever gave her a real choice. Across town, Yiran sat beside Milam in the hospital garden. Autumn had painted the trees in golden fire, and a soft breeze tangled her hair as she read through a file he'd handed her. It's not just false signatures, Milam said, eyes scanning the print. Lin Jianong moved offshore funds under dummy corporations. 3 of them were tied to shell companies linked with blacklisted entities. Yiran nodded. This kind of laundering can bury a company if it goes public. But if we move first, we expose him before he buries Zhu Group completely, she finished. Their fingers brushed as she passed the folder back, and neither pulled away. I'm scared, Milam admitted softly. Not for myself, but for the people left standing beside me. Yiran looked at her seriously. That includes me, and I'm not going anywhere. For a second, she didn't say anything. Then, her voice barely above a whisper. I don't want you to. That evening, Evelyn sat in the shadows of her apartment, lights off, wine untouched. Her inbox was full, messages from Lin Jianong, lawyers, board members, all seeking confirmation. Her loyalty, her silence, but something haunted her more than the flashing notifications. A memory of Milam, on their first day at Zhu Group's junior board, nervous and determined. Evelyn had laughed at her clumsy entrance, only to be met with a smile that was genuine and kind. Milam had once trusted her. Really trusted her. Why had she destroyed that? Evelyn stood abruptly and crossed the room, pulling open a hidden drawer in her study desk. Inside was a small USB drive. Unlabeled, untouched for over a year. She stared at it for a long time. She had planned to erase it. She hadn't, because part of her, some twisted, silent part, wanted to be caught. Her hand closed around it. The next morning, Milam arrived at her lawyer's office to find someone waiting. Evelyn, dressed simply, no makeup, just dark circles under her eyes and a haunted look on her face. Milam froze. What are you doing here? I have something, Evelyn said. Her voice wasn't smug or cruel. Just tired. Evidence. Yiran stepped forward instinctively, but Milam held up a hand. Her eyes never left Evelyn's. Why now? Evelyn swallowed. Because you deserve to know the truth. And because I want to stop pretending I'm not drowning. She extended the USB. Milam didn't take it right away. Is this a trick? No, Evelyn whispered. This is guilt. Inside the drive were files, video clips, email logs, bank records, and then, the most damning piece, a recorded call between Lin Jianong and a now missing executive, discussing the crash. The setup, the payoff, the truth. Milan's hands shook. Her throat closed. Yiran gently took the laptop and began organizing the files, already forwarding them to legal. But Milam sat still, watching Evelyn. You knew all along. I did, Evelyn said, voice cracking. I hated you for having what I never could. A family that loved you. A name that meant something. But I never thought it would go that far. When the crash happened, her voice broke. I didn't know they'd do that. Silence sat heavy between them. And then Milam said, I won't thank you. But I won't destroy you either. That's more mercy than you gave me. Evelyn nodded. She didn't argue. She just left. That night, Milam sat with Yiran beneath the city skyline, USB in hand, the truth in her grasp at last. I don't know what justice will look like, she said softly. But I think it's finally possible. He wrapped his arm around her shoulder, gently, grounding her. We'll find out together. End of chapter 77. Chapter 78, the beginning of the end. The boardroom of Zoo Group gleamed like a polished battlefield. Rows of glass and steel reflected 100 watchful eyes, each one bracing for the storm no one could ignore anymore. Lin Jianong walked in with confidence still painted across his face. His tailored suit, his silver tie-pin, everything about him screamed control. But beneath the surface, cracks were forming. He'd heard whispers, anonymous leaks, unusual audits, names being questioned. Yet, when he'd reached for his allies, their silence was louder than any confirmation. Now, today, he would find out what they were hiding. The board meeting began with the usual formalities. But then the door opened again. She walked in, Zhu Milam, every head turned, clad in a black pantsuit, her hair pinned elegantly, her expression unreadable. Behind her stood her lawyer, and beside her, Duan Yiran, calm, imposing, unapologetically on her side. The room buzzed, voices shifting like nervous currents. Zhu, this meeting is by invitation only, Jianong said, masking irritation under a courteous tone. She dropped a folder on the table. It landed with a heavy thud. Then consider this my invitation. Her voice rang out, clear. As the rightful shareholder of 40% of Zoo Group, shares stolen under duress and manipulation, I'm here to announce their return. He laughed. You have no standing. The screen behind her flickered on. Audio began to play. His voice. The missing executive. Plans. Numbers. Words that pierced like arrows. The girl was never supposed to survive. You promised the brakes would give out. The board fell deathly silent. Shall I play the rest? Milam asked quietly. Lin Jianong froze. Two members of the board slowly stood. I believe, one said, we should adjourn this meeting for legal review. Jianong stood, fists clenched. This is slander. Milan's eyes were cold. No, this is justice. Later that day, in a quiet cafe far from the chaos, Milam sat with Yiran, her hands still trembling from adrenaline. You did it, he said softly. She shook her head. No, we did it. You stayed even when I wasn't sure I'd ever stand again. His gaze was warm. You never stopped standing, Milam. You just forgot how strong you were. Their eyes met, no barriers left. No need to pretend. And she smiled, not the guarded, polite one she'd worn for years. A real one. Meanwhile, Evelyn stood outside the Zhu family hospital suite. She didn't go in. She didn't dare. But she left a letter, simple, honest. No excuses, only truth. And inside, a single photo of her and Milam on their first day at Zoo Group. For now, it was enough. Back in the penthouse that night, Milam stood on the balcony, the skyline stretching beneath her. Yiran walked up behind her, silent. And then he reached out, brushing a hair behind her ear, fingertips barely grazing her cheek. She didn't flinch. I used to think love was a distraction, he murmured. Now I think, maybe it's the reason we survived the rest. She turned, slowly, and leaned into him. End of chapter 78. She had done the impossible. Her mother opened her eyes. Her brother spoke her name. The truth of Lin Jianong cracked open in the very halls he once ruled. But victories like these come with a cost. Because even as justice draws closer, whispers still linger. Who will remain by her side when the mask finally shatters? And who will strike when the lights go out? The Zhu family has begun to rise. But the endgame has only just begun. Stay with us for the next chapters of Beneath the Mask, only on the Velvet Story.